Welcome back, farmers. Today I'm going to go through a little bit of a look at the highlights of the week. We'll pause the music. I have that playing pretty much all the time. I'm loving it. I really am loving the in-game Audius play, and I think it's going to become something very big through a lot of the other versions of it. So you'll see mini games are pumping out. It is actually going to be a way you can earn money in the game based on that. So one thing I noticed with mine shooting these birds was you need to change your mouse sensitivity. So sometimes it can be quite hard if your mouse is too sensitive. But I missed that one. I normally play with this on my side monitor, so it does feel a little bit weird playing it here. You want to be getting the higher the better. The higher the better is going to give you more experience points. That's going to help you progress up the ladder more. If you're in the top 100 people, then you're going to potentially get a prize for the month. They're talking DFL for people that finish in the first 100. At the moment, I think I'm somewhere around 50. I'm playing, like I'm putting not hardcore hours in a day, but you can fish every 5 minutes. You can play every game 5 minutes, so that's half the experience points where you can be getting 18, 20 experience points doing that. And the fishing's there. Petting your animals is still there. Plus, you've got Farm Invaders and Memory. You can pretty much be playing these on loop throughout the day. And, of course, you've got your achievements. You see the numbers. The numbers go huge. Leo is smashing it in comparison to whoever else is below him. 20 twice as much as whoever's coming third. I think that's to do with a lot of trading. I think you get a lot of points for doing the trading and stuff like that. You see, I'm just floating around there in the top 50. I'm not going to be going hardcore. I'll try to get my achievements done. I'll just have a look at some of those. Talking about the achievements, a couple of them are a little bit harder to do. So you see here, plant 100 seeds worth at least 100 USD. I think that is the last version of it. That's, you've got to plant, unplant, plant, unplant. It's kind of painful. Swap at least 100 USD worth of tokens 150 times. That actually goes towards your team stats, and you see my number here has contributed a little bit. But the other ones that are quite hard to do, the login, of course, that's standard. Harvest at least $20 US worth of crops 5 times. This was asked at the town hall. I just had a listen to it. And I've had these planted here for a couple of days. So we're talking $900 worth of run and USDC. And I've only got $15 worth of grown amount. So it's quite a hard achievement. And it's not really going to be available for people that don't have a lot of money and funds in that. I'm not a big fan of dual token lending all the time. I do prefer my single staking. So it would be nice to see some single staking coming into the game. But big things that came up for the town hall this week was the team went over, Erwin did go over how successful the 2021 was. They started in June from just a kind of a dream and talking amongst themselves, and they went to a hackathon. They won a hackathon. They got SRM grants. They got Solana grants, and then they did VC fundings. They got huge backers. Like, if you're not familiar with one of the big reasons of what's good to look at for DeFi Land, have a look at their investors. Animoca Brands, Jump Capital, Alameda Research. They launched on Gate IEO, Solana Foundation. They have huge backing for the team. So, some people, I'm not sure whether they did dox themselves at Breakpoint, but obviously if you've got big backers like that, you would think that they've done their due diligence. So big things to get mentioned. Obviously, we're all interested to see what's going to happen with this chicken. Apparently you don't click on him, because if you remember, you did click on the egg in the chicken roost, and ever after I've been clicking on that thing lots and lots and lots. But apparently you don't have to. It makes no difference. But all of those NFTs are going to be the same, and it's going to play something in the game pivotal role. I wonder whether it affects whether you get extra eggs, because there's going to come a stage of the game where all of these chickens, cats, dogs, cows, they become NFTs, and they're actually going to give you an earning capacity. So the cows, you're going to be able to buy and level up your NFTs, and they're going to give you milk, and as you level them up, they're going to give you more milk per day. And then that's going to be able to be traded for in-game gold, which is going to be the second coin. I wonder whether they've actually got the kicker gold. So GOLD. I think I have seen it mentioned a few times. So I would have to imagine that they got in early and got that one saved. Big things that I think we're going to see in the next couple of weeks are going to be coin staking. That's DFL staking. So be careful with where you've got your DFL. I personally have mine lending on Frankium. So it may mean if the borrow rate goes over 100% lend, if it's always at 100% lend, then you may not be able to unstake your DFL token. So be aware of that. If you want to unstake them now, that might be that's always your choice, like I'm going to leave mine staking in Frankium for now. There'll come a stage where eventually I'll be able to pull them out. But the team is going to be rewarding people that are going to be staking for the longer term. So it's going to be similar to a lot of these other coins that are coming out, and they're rewarding you at doing a long lockup period. We've seen Bone Feeder this week come out with a 3-year stake that was absolutely massive. Other things that will probably come about will be the NFTs. We're going to see Lambo harvesters drop skins for the beta testers. I think I heard 250. The top 250 beta testers are possibly going to get extra NFTs or potentially extra bonuses. You can see my potato farms. They're a little bit bland this week, but I've got potatoes everywhere. So keep in mind with your potatoes as well. They've actually gotten pretty cool in comparison to what they used to look like at the first couple of times. But if there's not a token for it, if it doesn't have a grape or an olive or a special fruit or something like that, they just use the potatoes. So they did mention that the harvesting quests, they may actually be lowered because, a few people have mentioned that. So another one was asked in the town hall was, are we going to see single staking options for the farms, for the quests? And that's not known at this stage. But they are going to be bringing in the robot labs, and that's going to allow people to do things like the tulip farming, probably Frankium as well, you would have to imagine. So the gold token got talked about a whole lot, and there was another one which is going to be the SDFL. So that's the wrapped or the marinated synthetic, I should say, DFL. And that's going to be possibly given to us if we stake, and then maybe we'll be able to use that synthetic DFL somewhere else. So big things that are also going to happen are going to be the Genesis NFT sales. I believe that might be talked about. Well, it is definitely talked about. Let's see if I can find where it is. No, it's not in there. NFT and resource marketplace. It talks about the Genesis NFTs are going to be the best in the game. I think they're going to be unbreakable, which is super important. And you're going to have 5 rarities. There's DFL and gold mentioned there. They're going to have rarities, and you're going to be able to upgrade them to 5 times, I believe. At the start, they're going to be common, uncommon, and rare. And then there was maybe it was an epic and legendary after that. But the rarities are going to be super important. That's going to allow you to have, if you've got a rare fishing rod, it's going to allow you to catch bigger fish and more fish than a common fishing rod, for example. But of course, that'll take time, that'll take resources. It's a way of making DFL deflationary. You use those resources, you farm, and you actually spend them back leveling up your items. Another good one that was talked about was the experience points. So you see here, level 14 experience 10,000. There's going to be 2 types of experience. So you're going to have your monthly seasonal experience, and then you're going to have your total combined experience. So they are going to capture your total level, but then every month for the monthly challenges and the monthly rewards, that's going to reset. So on the level, your end level, your total combined level every month is going to be pretty awesome. So it's going to add up. It's going to be in there. There's going to be quests, legendary quests, that was mentioned in the white paper as well, that may need to be a certain level to be able to use them. If you want to have a river on your land that you buy as an NFT and you're using for version 2, then you'll need to be a certain level to achieve that. So they're going to reward people that play the game, actively play the game, play the mini games. There's going to be multiplayer come out, and that's going to have up to 30 mini games. So on the white paper, things that I noticed worth noting, they talk about the educational mode early on, and that's going to be super important with the basis of it. So the educational mode, you're going to be inviting friends, you're going to be able to donate them a little bit of Solana, and they're then going to be able to capture that Solana within the game once they've learned through some of it. And there's going to be rewards for both people. The people doing the education, they're going to get an NFT, and then the people that have donated them the Solana, they're going to get also extra numbers, statistics, and it's going to build towards potentially giving them trade fees as well. They did talk about the islands and multiple blockchains. Obviously, you know, one chain isn't going to rule the world. It's going to be multiple chains, and we absolutely want to make sure we're going to be on the blockchain agnostic side of things. We need to be smart about this. There's too much TVL in Ethereum to say that it's ever going to die. So obviously they'll do different islands is the plan for DeFi Land. They talk about how they'll have islands separated for the different blockchains. One thing that was cool was talking about the SDKs. So DeFi Land's building their software developer kit, and that is going to be so they can have other teams come in and build multiplayer games and mini games to become a part of their ecosystem. That's going to allow them to get some pretty cool games and even potentially quests from other things, like they talk about how there might be a serum swap challenge for a month where you need to complete 10 serum swaps at a certain value, and they might give you SRM tokens for rewards for doing those kinds of things. So interactable NFTs, that was another big one. Let's have a quick look at that. Where is that? Interactable NFTs. Was that in the adventure mode? Talks about how they're going to have NFTs potentially, and it uses the Monk King as an example. How that will then drop a monkey in game, and this is just an example, but you can then interact with that monkey and potentially get a lead-in quest that will be opening up other quests, other achievements, other special rewards in DeFi Land. Start 22 Genesis NFT. I've talked about those. All right, NFT levels. So core NFTs. These are all your core NFTs: fishing rod, hunting gun, cars, working tools, building NFTs, animal NFTs. Now, all of these items are going to be upgradable. All NFTs, animals, buildings, and they talk about how if you upgrade these buildings to a level 2, for example, with your marketplace, you will get a 1% chance for surprise DFL on each swap. That's an example. So it's giving you an example of, if you upgrade your buildings, it's going to cost you a certain amount of resources, and then later on there's going to be these additional perks and bonuses from upgrading those buildings. That's very similar with a lot of games, farm swaps, any kind of building game where you upgrade your labs. Normally you're going to be improving the statistics of the existing things. The other one, big one, was the energy game resources. This was something that I didn't know a lot about. But your energies, players will have an energy bar with a default value of 5. This means that users will be able to play 5 minigames and later will have to wait for it to be restored. 1 unit of energy is restored per hour. To speed up the recovery, you can eat some cookies and possibly NFTs might help that out. But what that's going to mean is, come the main game, you're going to need to have a fishing rod to go fishing. Number 1. So you're going to need to have that fishing rod. But then later on, you'll be able to fish 5 times, and then you're going to have to wait, and your fishing is going to restore at 1 per hour. So that may mean that you're going to need to have a fishing rod, you're going to need to get a gun for the shooting gallery, or you're going to need to hire them on the in-game marketplaces. So lots to listen to every single week. They wrap it up. They have a great time every time. There's always prizes. So it's one of those things, you know, like I love getting it. Unfortunately, it's 1 a.m., so it's awesome to be able to download it afterwards. You can see it is on Farmers Hall, DeFi Land. They list it every week. Not many people come and listen to it, but it is there. At one stage, they will actually bring it into the game, and I'll imagine they'll be dropping that into the radio tower. That'll be the best way to do it, of course. The team is aware of it. They do want to do it, and go from there. But as always, hope you guys like, and thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.